In this video, I'm going to show you how to change the colors on templates that have a dark background as the default color. A lot of times you'll see dark grays, blacks, and in the inverse, whites. They can be challenging for some people to manipulate. So this is going to walk you through these steps real quick. So with all of our templates, we change the colors by using the Hue Saturation sliders. And we want to pick the one that is above the element that we want to change color on. In this case, I want to change the color of the background JPEG file. So I'm going to pick this Hue Saturation layer that is clip mask to it, which this little arrow here is telling me. That is a clip mask. What this tells you is this will only affect that element. In this case, it is full screen, doesn't matter, but on smaller elements like the frames, it will only affect the frames. All right, so let's get started. So I'm going to select the Hue Saturation layer, and then I'm going to make it visible by checking this little box, and I'll get an eyeball. Next, I'm going to locate the properties pane for that, which can also be found under Window, and then you would find the properties. I'm going to check Colorize. This is a very important step. You have to check Colorized. And then it's going to come up with some defaults that were left by the designer. We're not going to use these. So a lot of times I don't want to overly brighten things, so I will typically bring this into about the 40 range as my starting point. As you can see, it is a bit pastel, a little flat looking. So we're going to bring up our saturation because we want to get a true color. I'm going to bring that on up into the 80s here. And just for reference, we are working on making this red out of this template. And make sure you hang around. I got another little tip for you at the end of this video. All right, so now that I have a good saturation, I've got some vibrance there, I've got lightness that I like that looks very close, I'm going to now just play with the hue. And this is going to literally change the color. I'm just going to kind of slide over until I get something very close to what I would like. As you can see. So I'm going to take a little snapshot there from above holiday. Let's see what that color code is. Looks like that is C00031. Now we're going to come back over here. We're going to grab, first I'm going to go in here and turn off my drop shadow. I'm going to grab from that same rough area here, and I've got a BC1135. So it's close. I could play with these numbers a little bit more, maybe brighten it up just a smidge more. Take another snap so you can see the numbers are changing as I'm bumping this. So you can play with these sliders. You don't have to, you can use up down arrows in here. You don't have to try to do this with your slider and your clicker finger on your mouse. I find it much more accurate once I get into trying to tweak things. For me, I'm going to call this pretty good. That is going to be a match that's going to be well within tolerance with any clients. And for this sample, you can see that we actually just had a white text. So we would just remove our drop shadows, get rid of our gradient overlays, and then we could come in, switch over to the text tool. Would be really the easiest way to do this, and change our color. I don't have this font installed, so I'm not going to do that. But you can see, easy enough to manipulate there. Now, I did mention I had one other tip I wanted to show you here at the end of the video. And this is when you're trying to deal with silvers and grays. In the instance of that, you're going to keep everything the same, but this saturation layer is going to be the important thing for you. So to make a gray, we're going to literally pull out the color. The more color we get, the more sterile it will become. So we can go all the way over here. This is just pure gray. We can brighten it up a little bit if we want. But if we bring just a little bit of saturation in, Well, now we can bring this around and we can affect it, right? So we can make it a warm gray. That's going to get you in your reds and yellows, or a cool gray and your blues. So those are going to pull out more color, make the blue strong. Greens give you kind of a more of an old earthy look. So you can manipulate those to get something really nice, so that you don't just have something really flat. Flat can be really boring. And then to go to white, you would just bring this all the way over. After that, these no longer matter. They do not affect anything. But again, you could come back in and have just a little bit of color in there and make manipulation that are very, they're not quite so sterile. I will warn you on the whites, the printers are not going to replicate very subtle colors. They will look good on screen, but the printer will print them pretty much pure white. Well, I hope this is helpful. Please watch more videos on our channel, and I hope that you find our templates useful in your business.